Hello friends, in this video we will look at what is a process inside an operating system. Whenever we give any commands to the operating system, that is we click or double click on any of the icons, in that case that icon launches a application which is running. That means the executable of that particular application has been loaded into the main memory of the system, and now it is ready to be scheduled by the CPU so that it will execute or take the time from the CPU to perform one by one execution of its instructions. So a process is a program in execution wherein a executable file is getting executed. So as we can see here, a program in execution is known as a process. Now suppose that you are using the Word file, you want to create a Word file. So what you will do is you will double click on the Word application and a new window will appear before you. So as you will start typing, your content is not going to the hard disk, but it is being saved in the RAM of your computer. Now, where exactly does this content go and how then it is saved on the hard disk is where the concept of process control block comes into picture. A process control block is created every time a new process gets created in the system. A new PCB gets created. Now, this PCB has a process ID which uniquely identifies the process in the system. It is a number in a particular range, and no two processes can have the same process ID. It is something like we have a roll number for the student. Then we have a process state. Process state is whether the process is currently running with the CPU or it is waiting for some kind of input output, or whether it is new and it is not yet scheduled, or it has completed the IO and now it is waiting for the CPU, or it has terminated. So these all states, or it is suspended, waiting. So multiple states are there in which the process can be there inside a computer system. Then we have the data section and the code section. Now code section is where the executable of that process, like in case of Word, the winword.exe file is loaded in the code section of the PCB for the process in which we want to execute Word. The data section consists of all the variables, arrays, tags, heaps, queues that we are going to create inside the instructions of the program that we have loaded. And also when you are typing in Word, your data will go to the data section of the file till the time it is saved on the hard disk in the form of a file. Then we have the various file pointers that are associated with the process. Suppose in Word you have opened 6 files. So all the 6 files, their pointers are maintained here so that we keep track what all files have been opened by a given process. Then we have the IO status, that whether the process is in line for any type of input-output operations and what is the status of that wait. Then we have the resources that are used by the process. A list is maintained for the resources that have been used and that will be used in the future. Then we have a list of all the CPU registers that are there inside there when the process was executing with the CPU, because the process has to perform a context switch. Now, a context switch is a concept in which the process is shifting from one process to another. So when the CPU has to shift from one process to another, the CPU has to change the context. For example, if you're studying maths and suddenly you have to study Hindi, then if you apply the concepts of maths in Hindi, you won't understand Hindi. Similarly, when the CPU is executing one process, it has a certain values in the CPU registers which belong to that process. And when the CPU will switch from one process to another, the values of those CPU registers will get changed. So what happens is when the CPU performs a context switch, it updates the value of the latest CPU registers for that process into its PCB, so that when next time the CPU will start executing the same process, it will take the last saved values of the CPU register. So like this, the process is created, the PCB is created, and then the PCB will join the ready queue of the CPU so that the process can get executed. I hope this video is useful to you, and if you like my video, subscribe to the channel and wait for more content. I would love to create lovely videos for you and get good comments and feedback from you. Thank you very much.